Hello my dear students. Today I am going to teach you the very famous poem The Daffodils by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is a very famous nature poet and he is also a very famous romantic poet. Just like Byron, Shelley, Keats, Wordsworth is also a very famous romantic poet and he is also a very famous nature poet. And one of the most famous examples of Wordsworth's poems are Immortality Ode, Tintern Away, Solitary Reaper, Michael, Prelude, etc. Now, come to the poem The Daffodils. This is a very famous poem by William Wordsworth. Now, we have seen the Indian flowers such as sunflower, the marigold, the tulip, the yellow colored roses. Similarly, the daffodils is a yellow colored flower that is found in England. Now, come at the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Very beautiful poem it is. The poet in the very first stanza is saying that he is wandering here and there just like a lonely cloud that is floating over the vales and the hills. Vales is the old poetic form of valleys. Therefore, the poet here compares himself to a lonely cloud that is floating above the valleys and the hills. And here the poet is comparing himself to that of the cloud by the use of the word as. Therefore, the figure of speech is here simile. And we know when we compare two things by using words such as like and as, then that figure of speech is called simile. When all at once I saw a crowd, the poet says that when all at once, suddenly, he saw a crowd, a collection, a host also means collection of golden colored daffodils. And these daffodils are called golden colored because they are a bright yellow color and as if they were resembling just like that of the color of the gold. And where these daffodils are located? These daffodils were located beside the lake, by the side of the lake and beneath the trees and under the trees. And they were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. And they were moving. Fluttering means moving. They were just moving by the movement of the wind. Breeze here means wind. And here the figure of speech is personification, because here the human attributes are given to these flowers, these daffodils, as if they were just dancing like that of the human beings. Therefore, in the first stanza, the poet compares himself to the lonely clouds, and the poet says that suddenly he saw the collection of golden colored daffodils that were situated beside the lake and beneath the trees, and they were dancing by the movement of the wind. Now come at the second stanza of the poem. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in a sprightly dance. The poet here says that the daffodils were shining continuously, bright yellow colored flowers. Continuously they were shining just like that of the shining stars of the Milky Way galaxy. And the poet here says that they were stretched in never-ending line, as if they were not finishing the line. Therefore, the simple meaning is that the poet can see the daffodils as far as his eyesight can go along the margin of a bay. And where these daffodils were located? They were located by the side. Margin means by the side and bay means here the water body. And what is the water body? That is mentioned in the first stanza stanza already, that is the lake. And the poet says, 10,000 saw I at a glance. The poet here using not one or two or three. The poet is here using the figure of speech, hyperbole or exaggeration, and he says that he had seen 10,000 daffodils at a glance. At a single sight, he had seen 10,000 daffodils tossing their heads in sprightly dance. And what these daffodils were doing? These daffodils were moving their heads in an energetic dance. In a sprightly means energetic, in an energetic dance. Therefore, in the second stanza, the poet here says that again compares the daffodils to the shining stars of the Milky Way galaxy, and this is again an example of simile. And the poet here says that this star, just like the stars of the Milky Way galaxy, these daffodils were continuously shining in their bright yellow color, and they were situated beside the lake. And the poet here again uses the figure of speech, hyperbole or exaggeration, and says that he saw 10,000 daffodils at a single glance, and they were tossing their heads in an energetic dance. In the last line of the second stanza, again there is personification, as if they were dancing and moving just like that of the human beings. Human attributes were given to the daffodils. So, bye bye and thank you.